we all know Dubois can punch. We all know Joshua can punch. We all know that Dubois has lost by stoppage before.
Danis here for Pro Boxing Fans in Newcastle with Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, good to see you again after the madness of Dublin, but we're here in Newcastle. Queen of Misfits, Elle Brooke, top of the bill. Didn't get to see you yesterday. Where were you yesterday, actually? No appearance from you at the press conference.
Negotiating, this is Misfits 18, and I was in London. I came up today with KSI. I was in London yesterday, closing certain things off around Misfits 19 and Misfits 20, and a little bit of traditional boxing as well. So yeah, I thought, listen, Mams does those press conferences brilliantly, and my soppy old face, you know, if I'm missing, I don't think too many people notice. But very kind that you noticed that I was missing yesterday. Very nice. Yeah.
Let's talk. I want to talk now. You said that you were talking future Misfits events. Would any of those potentially be around the next move for a certain Mr. Hstikkytokky?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it seems, look, Dublin was great fun. I loved it. It was amazing. One of my favourite events, not only Misfits, just ever. Just the city was great. I think everything around Dublin loved, and we're going to be back there very, very soon. Watch this space. But there was other positives that came out of Dublin, apart from me finding it a good city, is HS. We like the numbers. We, you know, different to traditional boxing, the key is afterwards to analyse what numbers worked, and then HS absolutely smashed it number-wise. Danny Aaron's very impressive as well. And obviously Danny Simpson as well as our first Premier League champion, not even footballer, really champion on Misfits. We don't start at the bottom, we start at the top. They were new faces that really performed. And when I say really performed, I mean they outperformed some of the older faces. You know, so there was lots of positives coming out of Dublin. Sami Hamid, Prince Nassim's son. That was great fun as well. Seeing Prince Nassim back round the ring was fantastic, I think, for everyone. So yeah, it was a great night, and it's quite nice how we quickly gone into Newcastle, because I think we needed a week of the Dublin back chat, and now Newcastle comes quite at the perfect time for us. HS will be a big part of Misfits' future. I'm pretty sure of that. That's someone that, as long as he stays out of trouble, which is this is the dangerous part. But that's the thing that, you know, you saw Nate Diaz here today. Those are the characters. You just want them focusing though on on doing what they do, but not getting into too much trouble.
A name that I'm not going to say banded about, has been said by HS himself, is Dylan Danis. He's a man who, rightly or wrongly, generated a lot of numbers last time he fought on Misfits.
The internet, let's not beat around the bush here. He's another enfant terrible. Yeah. That fight would do great business. It's a super interesting fight. But apparently, he don't want to box. He wants to now do mixed martial arts. So, yes, we are looking at Misfits MMA. There's no secret in that. A lot of people know that, and that will come in the very imminent future. But at the same time, you know, let's not forget, you know, Hstikkytokky's learning on the job. Yeah, when we tell him now suddenly, no, forget, drop your boxing ideas. You're going to go straight into MMA, and you need to learn wrestling at the same time. It's not going to happen, is it? Come on. So that one ain't going to happen like that. But at the same time, I don't know whether that's just negotiation and what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's quite a lucrative offer he has on the table. He's certainly not getting that in the MMA world right now, Mr. Danis. And Dylan is a smart character when it comes to business, and you'll see that that's, you know, that money on the table he's not going to get anywhere else. And I'd say it's you'd have to do quite a lot of MMA fighting to get to those sort of numbers.
Let's talk traditional boxing. Wembley next week. I want to talk about your man, Josh Kelly. I watched the face-off with him and Liam Smith, and I don't think I've ever obviously watched a lot of Josh's interviews over the year, but he's always been confident. But it seems like there's a sort of deeper. He sort of found himself maybe as a person more than a fighter. It came across to me.
He's in a good spot, and it's difficult for me to explain it because I got used to it. So, but if I don't know, if I went to sleep, if I met Josh, when was it, 4 years ago now when we signed him, 3-4 years ago, and I would have met him then and fell asleep and woke up today and met Josh today, the change is like massive. I mean, he's just in a good space, you know. We play golf together. You see the way he's competitive, but he's just in a very, very good place where a professional athlete should be. And before fights, it's phenomenal to watch the calmness. But it's not silly confidence. But this is the time to shine, and this is when that is going to be the asset as well. Because around those big fights, everyone knows that Josh is an extremely skillful fighter. Anyone who's been around the amateur scene, pro scene. And this is the moment, though. This is the moment. So, yeah, I'm naturally very excited to have him on this. You know, as I said, it's a card, it's not an undercard, it's such a big event. So that's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, and yeah, very excited for it.
One thing he kept saying during that face-off was, it's just another fight, but it is a massive fight for him on next Saturday.
Yeah, but again, I don't know how he does it. He gets himself in that sort of space. We call it massive. You're an important part of the media. We're promoting the fight. We're going to say it's massive, aren't we? But for him, it's another fight. You know, he sparred Liam Smith before. Just another fight. It's just another fight. And he's not wrong, is he? But me and you would say, well, that's just another fight. Just happens to be under the arch in front of 96,000 people. Yeah, and just another fight. We would of course say, no, it's not just another fight. It's a massive show. But for someone who's been around, and Liam is obviously the grand seigneur in this situation. He's been around big fights for a long time. Won world titles, won big fights, lost big fights, but he's seasoned top operator, and you can't say, even as Josh is proud, I can't say that about Josh. But at the same time, he has been around a long time. Sorry, it's Misfits and it's kicking off in the background. I wasn't sure if that was real or not. So it's one of them. This is the coming out hour, and I'm a believer, and I'm a believer with a little bit of experience of knowing when I back something. I'm supremely confident on this one, but we've got there to do a job, and he's got to get the job done.
Very last one, I want to talk to you about the main event, and particularly comments from Anthony Fowler about this now infamous spar between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois.
Can you tell me first of all? It's a good question because I'm quite interested to know, what did Anthony Fowler say? I wasn't there. I haven't seen the interview, and I obviously wasn't there at this sparring.
So Anthony said that there had been a version of events where Anthony was dropped, stretched out of the ring. It was exaggerated. He said that he was buzzed. If Dubois had wanted to, he could have knocked him out cold, but he didn't out of respect.
So
Dubois is supposed to have rocked Joshua in the spar, but not dropped him, as Frank Warren and Queensbury said when they signed Dubois all those years ago.
Okay.
Have you heard any versions of it? I'm sure you hear whispers about sparring stories a lot.
First of all, sparring, for those who aren't aware, is practicing what goes on in the ring. It's a mock, right? It's not a fight. Now, if you're looking in and you're not a boxing guy, you say, well, no, they're fighting. No, they're sparring. There's a big difference, and spars can turn into, but you try things out in sparring. That's how you learn. So when people get buzzed, rocked, knocked out, you've got to remember they're on a learning job. So, that's the brutal side of boxing. It happens. Klitschko's got rocked. He used to get in the best possible heavyweights from the world into their training camps in Austria. The stories I heard out of those training camps, you'd think the Klitschko's were rubbish. Yeah, those stories always have it. Do I read into them? No, they turn up at every big fight. Yes, miraculously they do. Yeah. Do I make anything of them? Absolutely bloody not. No. So I think we all know Dubois can punch. We all know Joshua can punch. We all know that Dubois has lost by stoppage before. We all know that Joshua has lost by stoppage before. Will that fight go to the distance? I wouldn't bet on it, pal. Right? It's going to be a stoppage. Either way. For me, it's Joshua, but I wouldn't put my house on it.
We look forward to it. We look forward to seeing your man Josh Kelly, Liam Smith, and the full card. It's a big one. Kalle, enjoy the rest of your weekend in Newcastle. Always a pleasure. Speak to you soon.
Thank you, mate.